Welcome back to my channel. My name is Em, and welcome to my journey to financial freedom, where I try to see where a dollar can take me a day at a time. So, welcome to Once Upon a Dollar, and join me as I tackle this challenging journey. Now, today will be a little bit of a different video because, like I mentioned, I have been cash stuffing for about a year now, and I think it's time for me to change my system. There's a lot of things that work for me, there's a lot of things that doesn't, and today I kind of wanted to go over everything. So this will also be a perfect way to kind of go over my binders, a walkthrough of what categories I had currently. So I will start with I believe this is my future binder. Now, I will also be getting new binders. Therefore, I think this was also something for me to kind of start planning some of the dashboards I'm going to need and categories that I would like to keep or remove. Okay. Starting with my future binder, I had a at 30, then I had baby, also had my FHSA. If you live in Canada, you know this is a savings account specifically for first house buyers. Then I have my home, honeymoon, RRSP, my wedding, TFSA. Same thing, same concept. This is just a tax-free savings account. My book, then invest. We have future, and I have future buffer. Now, going back, just going to be removing all these binders here because I will be changing a few of them. So at $30, at 30 is basically funds that I want to put aside for when I turn 30. Currently, I am 24. I turned 25 this year, so I do want to start planning for this binder as soon as possible. As soon as I turn 25, I will be cash stuffing this because then I'll have 5 years to cash stuff for it. I don't really have plans for this. Everybody keeps talking about the things they want to do for 30, and honestly, I think that I will just be planning a vacation for myself, if not just put the money towards something that I'm really passionate when I'm 30. I don't know yet. Baby, now I'm currently single and I don't have I do would like to start a family. However, you know, babies are expensive, but at this time I don't think this is a category that I will be keeping, only because um it's not something that it's just there. I yeah, it's just there. I don't think it's something that I do see myself spending. So I'm gonna put it there like a maybe pile. FHSA, yes, this is something that I will continue. Do have $450 that I lent to someone. Then I have the 4,000, I believe $800 in the bank, and then I have 150. This will be $200 soon. When I cash stuff this, I'm gonna do a cash condensing where I ideally put $200 into the high yield savings account, so then I can be at 5,000 in this account, and it will be my first 5,000 placeholder, which I'm very, very excited. First to many. Home, so this was to buy a house. This was to for any deposits that I may require in addition to, the down payment. Now I do want to still keep this binder. This not binder. I'm so sorry. This envelope. However, I don't know what my maximum. Maybe I'll do another video where I kind of explain how much I want in each of these categories, because I don't know what would be an ideal kind of budget here. If you guys know, please let me know. But like, I'm thinking maybe like 5 to 10% of my down payment, but my down payment is based on basically the type of house that I'm looking for, so it's kind of a variable number. So I'll keep this one. My honeymoon, same thing with the baby. I don't think it is something that I, I foresee them in the future, but it's not really pressing right now. So those are always categories I can always add later on. My RSSP, yes, this is something that I will be keeping. However, not really actively probably put $5 here and there. Wedding, same thing. My TFSA, yes, this is important. This is something that I'm going to start to take very seriously and really start putting, because I'm thinking alongside with my RSP, this could be like money that I have on hand for my retirement. So that is something that I will definitely be putting. Now, I did write a book, and they were asking me like $14,000 in order to publish it, self-publish it. I didn't know it was that expensive. Now, this has been something that I've been writing since I was in high school. So it's been almost, I want to say, 6 years that I've been writing this book. I'm almost done it. But $14,000, I still have my student loans. I still have other debts. As much as I would love to cash stuff this, I think it's going to have to be in the back burner for now. So I'm going to put it here. Investment. Um, it is something that I do want to start taking seriously. However, currently it's not really something that I, like investment. It's not really something that I see myself. Future. So now future, I was thinking, because I'm not doing baby and other things anymore, I was thinking future could be that kind of category in between. So future is basically any other categories here that I haven't cash stuffed. And then future buffer, which is always important. Beautiful. One of the things that I wanted to put in there, let me go get my sticky notes right here. So if you're new to my channel, I have this fund called I Love Big Bucks Challenge. I Love Big Bucks Challenge is essentially, I'm just going to put it at ILBB, is essentially one bill from each denomination. So in Canada, that's 100, a 50, a 20, a 10, and a 5, which equals to 185 that I put to myself every single paycheck. Now, this is money to myself. Sometimes when I can't pay all of it, I just give myself, but it is the first thing that I do. I always pay myself first when it comes, no matter the circumstance, the situation. Now, in the past, I would have my I Love Big Bucks here. But then I realized that there are a lot of denomination challenges that exist out there. And I think that it is something that I will, be doing instead. And then I would still be putting the I Love Big Bucks challenge in this envelope and cash stuff it as part of my future, because I never know what I'm going to do with the money. And then do some challenges on the channel where I just, cash stuff, and I work alongside you guys where we see at the end of the year how much we saved. So right now for the I Love Big Bucks, I have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 45, 55, 65, 70, $80, right? $80. Beautiful. So $80 that I have in the I Love Big Bucks challenge. Now next year, what I'm thinking of doing with this is just cash stuffing alongside with my future, and then I'll have this binder or the new binders that I will be getting for my challenges and so forth, so on. So for my new future binder, we have at 30, FHSA, home, RRSP, TFSA, future, future buffer. Sorry, and then I have the I Love Big Bucks challenge. Now this binder I just emptied out. Now, like I mentioned before, I did have these slips that I put in there, and I think what I'll do is I'll put savings challenge in there, and then I would just keep cash stuffing them. I do have the ones that opens to the side as well, but then I think this will be a great fun challenge. What I will be doing though that will be different from what I've seen so far is that instead of allocating my savings challenges right away, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in a big box. And then at the end of the year, I'm just going to unravel the box, and then we can see how much we saved throughout the year and not just as we go. I think that will be just a kind of fun reward for me at the end of the year. So really looking forward to starting that. On to the next one. There are a lot of binders here that I've just never really started. Now, I did have this binder right here that were like saving challenges. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was kind of looking to see if I was gonna take this seriously or not. I haven't really started any of these. Will I be starting any of these? Probably not. But never say never. Because I do have this one for my 100 envelope challenge, which I have started, hopefully finish by the end of the year. However, when it came to these, I just never really knew how to fit it in my schedule. Not schedule, sorry, my budget, because with the way my budget is right now, I can't really say I live paycheck to paycheck, but my bills encompasses over 85% of my paycheck, if not sometimes 90% of my paycheck. So the fact that I can even allow myself to have $185 to pay myself sometimes is like a given. Even for like my next couple of paycheck, I already see like I won't even be able to give myself 185, because by the time I finish paying all the bills and everything, I only have like $90 left or $5 left. So sometimes it's tough. I do want to see how I can start incorporating savings challenges into my budget. But for the time being, I won't really touch this. When I do get a new binder, I will kind of go through some of the ones that I'll be using, some of the ones that I will not be using, and then kind of see it from there. I do not like small denomination challenges, only because I tend to run through them fairly quickly. But I've never really tried them, so don't really want to say never. But kind of like the big ones, because you work hard towards them, but then you get rewarded with like $3,000. So and that $10,000 one really sounded really nice too. So we'll see how I feel about, maybe after I come back from vacation or I get my new binders, I'll see how I can go ahead and allocate these challenges here. Okay, let's see the next one. Oh my gosh, my holidays binder. This might be pretty sad, but my family don't really celebrate the holidays together. It's just not something that we did. I typically spend the holiday with like friends or their family. So this was like a very nice initiative for me to start planning for the holidays. Like, for example, we don't do anything for New Year's. Thanksgiving, don't really do anything for that either. Christmas was a really nice initiative, but I was usually the one that planned for Christmas. So I invite all my friends over and we do like gifts exchange, but we no longer live in the same city. So this kind of just feels pointless. Then we have Mother's Day, which sometimes I give my mom something, but then again, I just recently moved back with her. So I will be cash stuffing for that. Father's Day, my dad and I don't really have that kind of relationship. So then my birthday, my birthday is in like what, 4 months, and I empty. I don't know what I'm gonna give myself this birthday. However, I am going on a few trips, so maybe that will be my birthday present. Black Friday, last year I cashed off for this and it was rewarding, but I'm kind of at a point right now where I just want to save and don't really want to shop. So maybe not this year, but next year. Then we have Prime Day, which I never, even though I get the notifications, I'm never on time, always late. Gifts, I do like to give gifts. It is my love language. So that is something that I might keep. Giving back, same kind of concept. Donations. Now, giving back is something that I do every year. So I'll go to one of those gift wrapping stations and I'll give money back to whatever cause they're supporting. Sometimes it's like local shelter stuff. And then donations is sometimes at my church group, they do small donations here and there to support some countries or family in need. So that's that. And then buffer is if I go over budget. So let's go through all of that to just start taking out some of the ones that I'll be keeping, some of the ones that I will not be keeping, and then we can take it there. So New Year's, not taken. Thanksgiving, not taken. Christmas, I'll keep as like a sinking fund, I guess. Mother's Day, I'll keep. Again, I'll be changing these envelopes to the ones that open to the side, so it's like easier for me. Father's Day, that one I'll keep. My birthdays, I mean, I guess this could be birthdays in general, but like I don't really know that many people. I'm kind of an introvert, so I don't know whose birthday I would be doing. I mean, I'll keep that just guess to be nice. My church group's always doing things for other people last minute, so maybe that could be a fund where I do that. Black Friday, yes, although this year I will not be buying anything. Prime Day, I don't think so. Gifts, absolutely. Giving back, donations, and buffer. Those are definitely going to make it. Okay, so my new holidays binder, Christmas or Xmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays in general, Black Friday, gifts. We have giving back, donations, and buffer. I think I like that. And then which one's gonna make it? Prime Day, Thanksgiving, and New Year's. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there. Next, we have a binder that I probably never used. Oh, okay. So this was the same concept as my blue binder, sorry. And essentially, this was like monthly challenges, 52 weeks challenges, and 26 weeks challenges. Again, maybe something that I could envision myself doing next year. But like I said, budget's a little bit tight right now. And this would have been very fun. I mean, I can barely do the 185 for me a month. Can you imagine? I feel like when I can start cash stuffing those 300, I feel like I'm rich, like very rich. But in the meantime, and a lot of these too, like I have to round because like even here we have a lot of ones, we have like two, and I don't really want to start cash stuffing coins, so I'm gonna have to round those up like I did for the 100 savings challenge. So yeah, maybe something that I foresee in the future, but I will be having kind of like an official saving challenge binder. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do the mini Mondays and the mini this and the mini that, but it is something that I have to keep into consideration. So this is my sinking funds binder, and a lot of these categories are actually going to go because I don't stuff for them. Now, hospital, one of the reasons why I had hospital is because even though we live in Canada and healthcare should be free, because I was out of province for the longest time, they came out with this new thing where if you're out of province, sometimes you have to pay a fee for some local clinics. So I had this at the time, but then I'm back at my province. I'm back in Quebec, so I don't really need this. Although my family doctor is in Ontario, so might have to keep that. We'll see. Dental, yes, definitely. Then we have eye care. Just got a new pair of glasses. Expensive. Beauty, hygiene. Then we have hair, nails, night sky. I have two cats. One's night, the other one's sky. Shopping, Shein, Besties, JD, The Sims 4, Buffer, and that's it. Okay, so I'm gonna go through all of these categories because I know a few of them I will not be keeping. So hospital will not do. Dental, I have an appointment like every 6 months. So, I mean, my insurance cover the majority of it, but I do have to pay up front and then they reimburse me, which is kind of annoying. But maybe I should, start planning for that. This one, I know how much I want to have in this one. This one will have $500 because I realize every time I buy glasses, it's usually around $500. So this will be, but it's every 2 years. So once I have $500, that will be fully funded. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not a makeup girl. I'm not a beauty, don't really care for fashion stuff. I had beauty when I would go out with my friends and, we'd buy some stuff, but like, no. Hygiene, okay, I'm gonna keep that one. Can never have too many products. Hair, I don't know if you watch my other video where I spend that $150 for my hair. Boy, do I have a story, but definitely will say it in another video, so don't miss it. But did end up spending all the $150 for my hair. I don't think I will be going back to that same hair place again. Nothing bad to do with, the service or the person who did my hair. It's just, it's not the kind of vibe that I'm looking for. Therefore, yeah, I'm definitely gonna look for another place. Then we have nails. As you can see, I do have long nails, weird shaped. I don't really like getting my nails done because it is a pretty expensive thing once you get into it, but I do travel once in a while and sometimes it's good to keep nice, so there's that. Then we have night sky, they're my number one, so definitely cannot get rid of this envelope. Shopping, I'm not sure why I had this category, but I'm gonna move it to the side because the only places I shop is like Shein and Amazon, so definitely gonna keep Shein. Besties is my two best friends, so keep that. JD was a company that my friend and her partner came up with, but they haven't been active for a very long time, so I'm going to put this on the side. Then we have The Sims 4 because it's my only pastime, and then Buffer. Okay, so dental, eye care, hygiene, hair, nails, night sky, which has money, I believe. Last time I counted it was like, what, oh, $10. Wow, definitely need to keep that. Then we have Shein, Besties, Sims 4, and Buffer. Beautiful. Okay, we just have a few more binders to go. We can move this onto the side. Sorry, where I live in the basement. Therefore, when my mom comes down, sometimes uses the kitchen, it like echoes here. So keep that in mind. I don't think I am going to. Oh my gosh, I'm out of shape. I'm actually out of breath just going up a few stairs. Whew. Okay, so I don't think I'm going to change anything about my travel binder. It's probably the only binders that I like, or the binders that keeps me going. You know, you got your pre-travel, flights, hotel, transportation, activity, sleep. Nope, not sleeping. Spending, souvenir, post-travel. Then we had Asia. Sorry, I'm just referencing my sheet here. Then we have Asia, Japan, America. Oops. Africa. This is supposed to be South America, actually. Let me put it right now because I always looking for the South. Again, I will be getting inserts soon, just organizing and planning for them. So South, then we have Africa. Yes, it's spelled incorrectly. I met someone whose name was Africa and it was with a K, not a C, and I fell in love. Besties again for when we travel with my friends, Canada. Then we have Europe, Oceania. Never can Oceanie. I can only say it in French. Oceanie. Can't say it in English. I can't say it in English. Please, if you know how to say this word, please let me know. Then we have the buffer, and then my bill all around the world, which for USD I do have quite a bit. Okay, that's it. Not really changing. I could add a few more because I'm always needing more things when I travel, but I cannot wait till I get my new travel binder. Very, very excited. Okay, so this is my emergency binder. So other than my travel, this is probably my favorite binders after that. I've explained my emergency. Well, the first one is the emergency at 5%. I've explained this already. So emergency at 5%, when I first started cash stuffing, I never really understood the notion of having an emergency fund. And within the first year, I had saved quite a bit of money. And then when I ran through that money, I didn't have a backup, I didn't have a buffer, I didn't really have anything to rely on. So once the emergency was resolved, I was kind of like zero, and I found myself, not being able to afford food or gas for my car. So I created this not folder, oh my gosh, envelope called Emergency at 5%. And right now it has $75. I'm rich. Probably try to add more. Like I said, if I don't utilize this by the end of the year, then this basically becomes money for fun saving challenges for next year, or when I do start the saving challenges. Then I have besties. Whenever my friends are in need, car, which my mom usually take care of this expense, but I really want to start, taking care of my own stuff. So definitely we'll start saving for that. Family, friends, my emergency funds, which if you've been watching my videos, I actually had to drain my emergency funds for some personal reason, and I had to start from scratch. Now, within a month, I was already able to save like $700, which I'm very, very, very happy about. Definitely want to get it to 1,000 before the end of August, so really looking forward for that. Then, yeah, really looking forward for that. Then emergency home. This is a category that I, back when I started cash stuffing, I was so close to buying a home. So I had created this envelope thinking that it was going to happen, but it never happened. So I can actually take this off. because I don't own a house yet. And then this is emergency for myself. This is usually like, let's say I was not shorthanded, but I'm short on cash or I need something real quick. This is something that I just keep, for myself as an emergency. And then we have an emergency vet, which usually covers my vet expenses for the year, which is, something that I just keep stuffing. And then, like all my binders, the buffer. I think there's not really anything here to change. Kind of really like that. I don't think I added any new or other categories in this one. So there's that. I'm almost done. Don't know what this is. Oh, this is my low priorities. Low priorities, we have mother, we have my aunt. So this binders is usually for when people give me money, because my family tend to do that. Well, they just kind of give me money, and I put that in their envelope. So my aunt actually gave me $700 that I have as a buffer, because I don't have an emergency fund. So I do have that money. Oh my gosh, I do have that money um, on my bank account. I'm not cash stuffing it because I don't plan to use it. It's just there just in case I need it. But yeah, she has quite a big of a stash here, which I will be taking to the bank in my next cash stuffing. Then we have niece. I do have a goddaughter, but it was too big, so I put niece instead. Sometimes for her birthday or for Christmas, I just send her a little something something. Father. Then we have family, friends. I feel like I have twice. No, I don't. Friends. Then I have D, which is one of my friends. June, my other friend. Myself, which I was really funny. I'm saving for a DJI Osmo Pocket 3, and I have, wow, I actually have quite a bit. Oh no, it's just $20. Okay, $20. Wow, long way to go. And then buffer, like always. Whoops. Yeah, that's funny. Okay, so this is my low party. I don't really see a category here that I could take out because they're just basically family members and close friends. Yeah, I don't really see anything that I could take out here. So that's that. Then we have my high priority binder. So I think moving forward, my high priority binder will be my month ahead binder, only because the purpose of this binder was to kind of keep me accountable for my bills. So then I would cash stuff them here, and then when the time came, I would uncash stuff them. But then what I realized is that because I kind of was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, sometimes I would miss a payment because I didn't go to the bank in time, or the bank was closed by the time I could go to the bank after work. So I think what I'm going to do instead is to just do month ahead, and this will be like a sinking fund for it. So I have my subscriptions, TD credit card, RBC credit card. For these, I do have credit limits, so I think my goal would be to have the same amount that I do have credit, which I think is going to take me a while, because for my TD, I think I have over 5K in credit, and then for my RBC, the same thing. So that's tough. Then we have loans that I owe people. I only owe 3 people, ironically. I owe my mom. Then I owe a friend that used to live with me. And then I owe my dad money. I think I owe my dad like 1,200. I owe my friend 1,000, and I owe my mom 3,000. So together we are looking at a $4,000 debt, which I do plan to pay soon, especially my mother, because I just want to get rid of that higher amount. And then YouTube, I think this is going to be just a folder that I can just plan ahead. So let's say I'm supporting the cash stuffers. Cash, is that what they call them? Cash stuffers. Well, people within the cash community, then I can just pull away from this binder and just support them, whether it's binders, dashboards, etc. Right now it's empties, and I do have an order to make, so yikes to my credit card. But yeah, this is something that I don't really see anything that I need to change here. But what I was thinking is I might have to put some of these binders together, maybe put this with my emergency when I get the new binders, and then just take it from there. But yeah, that's the plan here. And then this used to be, oh, this is my old travel cards. LOL. This used to be my my wallet, you know, buffer at 5%, gas, dining out and stuff. I do plan, oh yeah, this is my name. I do plan on bringing my wallet back. However, the way I will cash stuff it is I'll put a certain amount per paycheck and then be utilizing my credit card. And then what I would be doing is that once uh, at the end of the month, I'll just do uncash stuffing and then pay that credit card in full. Because I realized that before I used to do this, and then I didn't really like it because whenever I would do gas, especially during the cold season, I would have to go to the inside in order to pay for gas, um, and then wait for it in the cold. And where when if I use my credit card, I just tap. But I realized because I'm not really budgeting anything for me to spend, especially for like gas and other stuff, I don't typically pay it in full every month. So I definitely want to work on that. Definitely be working on some categories here and there, but so far that's what I had from previous, like my first year of cash stuffing, and we'll be changing this up. I think I kept so I kept that. I think I have allowance, gas, bank, rollover, and eat out. That's what I plan to have. So we'll definitely keep that here. And this is a overview of, you know, my binders. There's a lot of categories that I will just not have, and a lot of these binders, you know, these are too many. A lot of these binders are going to be like, I'm thinking, other than my travel binder, my wallet, my savings challenges, I'm not going to have as many binders because this is just too overwhelming. Okay, so this is it for this video. It is quite a bit of a long one. I will have another one kind of going through my new binders with my new setup, so keep in tune for that. But until then, thank you for watching my video, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.